What up, everybody? Big Herc 916 getting down with Fresh Out. You're tuned into another episode. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Also, go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up some merch, grab a t-shirt, grab you a bar of soap, and wash your ass. And don't walk around funky. I'm here with my man Akiem, and we've had him on the show before, but Akiem, for those who didn't see your first interview, kind of share with our audience a little bit about what you do and what your whole program is about, because you got some really interesting things that you help people with.
I have a station. Again, like you said, my name is Akiem. My station is Hindsight Radio on YouTube, and I help people with reading. Reading the rules so that they can free themselves from their problems. Namely, one of the big things I help people is getting rid of student loan debt. People don't understand their power when it comes to student loans. They take out all these loans, and next thing you know, they get something in the mail from a servicer saying, hey, you need to pay me. But if they understand the rules of who they took that contract out with and who they really have to pay, they'll realize a lot of people are paying people they don't even have to pay. Mm. And they can get those accounts taken off and get it shown paid in full. Like, for instance, last year, one letter sent to the servicer saying, hey, I don't know who the hell you are. Show me that I owe you some money. And a month later, they sent a letter saying paid in full, $91,000 worth of loans. Mm-hmm. So those are one of the many things that I do. I do other things, but what I know most people are dealing with. They went to school, got these student loans. Some people have been paying on student loans for 20 years. Mm. Interest is building on these things. I think student loans is one of the bigger scams they got going on, to keep people enslaved to a job, because most people keep staying with the job and not venturing out into a business adventure because they have all of these obligations with student loans and other things. So they're afraid if they go into a business venture, they're not going to make enough money to pay all this stuff. But if you knew a way that you can get out of it legally, you would go for that.
Yeah, they feel trapped.
Right, they feel trapped. So I show people how not to be trapped. I show them what they're really doing and how they're harming themselves by just paying someone just because they sent you a letter in the mail saying you owe them. Mm. Okay, maybe you did go and take out the loans, but okay, what does the law say as far as who you have to pay and who you don't have to pay? You need to know that. And so that's one of the bigger things I do. Just show people, hey, read the rules and then act according to the rules that benefit you.
Well, I know too, we were talking about like just understanding contracts too, and even like people who are involved in maybe social media, whether it's with publishing books, working with other media platforms, knowing the contracts and how things work, because a lot of people, they get involved in stuff and they're not getting the royalties they were supposed to get, or the passive income they should be receiving because of how things are worded, and they don't really understand the language. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to understand the language of things that you enter into.
Yes, you need to understand the rules. And the information out there, you can go read it. And sometimes, yes, it's going to take it's a learning curve to understand what these contracts are saying, because they're written in such a confusing language. It's a whole different language that, that's why I say school is the biggest detriment to your education. You really knowing things, because it doesn't teach you how to read a contract. Which you're dealing with contracts everywhere you go. From the moment you get a job, you're dealing with a contract. Shoot, going to school is a contract. Got rules. Mm-hmm. But they don't teach you how to interpret contracts. Why? Because that's an agenda to keep you at a certain level of understanding, just enough to victimize your own self through your own signing of this contract.
Well, even going back to that point where in school, it would make sense for them to teach you that, because then you would question it. And you have to literally fight to unlearn what you've been indoctrinated, because it's such a reinforced program. Like in school, they never taught you about, like we said, life insurance, setting up a family will or family trust. So because they want when you pass away for it to go back to the state.
They want you to go to someone who went to school for that and pay them to do it. Mm-hmm. And you still even then don't know what you got. Yeah. How do you know you got a good lawyer that could draft a good will or trust or something like that together? How do you know? You don't know. You're paying someone and hoping that they're going to do right by you. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, I know so many people that paid lawyers and then come to find out that the lawyer, because of his lack of knowledge, put something in the contract that actually hurt them. Just because he's a lawyer doesn't make him a good one. You see? And the really good ones, they cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But there's sites out there where you can draft your own wills, your own trusts, things, your own contracts. So we, as a people, have to learn these things on our own because there's no one out there willing to really teach us, other than myself and a few others, what's really going on out there.
Well, I'd always tell people the things that you really need to pay attention to are the things you're going to have to learn for yourself. You know, maybe take the time to not watch a couple music videos one day, to actually listen to something that's going to give you
Basically,
some game.
Stop trying to entertain yourself and try to educate yourself. Make education entertaining for yourself.
That's right. Because you can, you'll listen to enough stuff. I mean, I when I'm driving, I listen to, certain podcasts or certain things and just, information. And then when I go back to read it, it makes more sense because now you've subliminally heard some things and like, oh, okay, I remember when they were talking about that. And you go to read the language adds up. Because my thing was, I didn't really start looking into the law and language until I got to prison. But how backwards is that if you're out here committing crimes and you don't know the laws? It's like going to play football and you don't understand
you don't understand the consequences.
Yeah, you don't understand. You run across the middle.
Worth it?
Yeah, you're doing stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, dude, you're running. They didn't say hike, and you taking off with the ball. Mm-hmm. You got to know the rules.
Yeah, and that's our biggest problem. What's costing us a lot of money. People are probably paying student loans right now that they don't really have to pay, and they just I think it's $6 billion in student loans. Supreme Court is going to allow a settlement to go through. And what does that mean for the average person who's got a student loan? Now, in this suit, it's against some schools that were doing some unscrupulous practices, misleading the kids to take out these loans, right? But look at the bigger picture here. They're forced to pay off this money. Now, the law averages say that most people won't even look into that and try to get their loans forgiven or taken off. Because they don't know about it or they think they don't qualify for it. Because the articles are spent in certain way and make you think that it's just a certain group of people. But let me give you a scenario. Just say you have student loans, right? And you just sent a simple, hey, I don't know who you are, right? You're asking me for money, but I don't remember signing a contract with you. Who collects student loans mostly? Services.
That's right.
You never signed a contract with a servicer to give them any money. You're not obligated to pay them. You're only obligated to the person you actually sat down to the table to get that loan, right? Now, let's just say it goes to court. The court needs evidence that you actually took out the loan. Who's going to come to court and testify and say you're the one that took the loan out? The only person that can testify is you to say, yeah, I took that loan out.
Yeah, basically.
Or you going to tell them yourself?
Yeah, telling yourself, yeah.
But who's coming to take you to court? A lawyer. Another lawyer. The school is not there. It's a lawyer. Lawyer doesn't have firsthand knowledge of anything. Yeah. So anything he say cannot be considered as fact. He has to enter sworn affidavits or sworn testimony to support his case.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand either, and we're not here, just a disclaimer, we're not here practicing law, instructing anybody on how to handle their legal matters. Mm-hmm. We're just sharing information. But people don't understand, like an affidavit, how powerful it is in the court.
Right.
Only an affidavit can only be rebutted with another affidavit.
Right.
So, using affidavits, they don't tell you, notaries, they don't tell you, do your homework. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, do your homework. But what I'm saying is, if you just make them prove that you owe them 99, they can't prove it because it's a sea of paperwork out there. to get the original contract to bring it forth. They can't. And then if they do bring something, it's a copy of it.
Not original.
Not the original. Now, okay, I got the copy. Oh, this says this name, this social, whatever. But who's coming to support that? To say, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
See, people don't understand how that works. Like, you need actual proof that, and all you gotta do is just challenge. That.
Well,
you'd be surprised what happens when you challenge something.
It's that guy we interviewed one time. He said that the feds that took a bunch of pictures and they said, "This you?" He said, "Damn, that looked like me, and that dude, he could have been, but that wasn't me." They're like, "What about this one?" God, he said, "Damn, you guys are good, but that ain't me." They need you to basically
corroborate the evidence.
Everything has to be corroborated.
Just because it's a picture and it resembles you, what is it? It's a photocopy. It's a photo. It's not an original. So somebody has to say, that's him.
Yeah, a physical.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody has to,
yeah.
They need you to say, and that's how they do. They show you this stuff. Oh, is that you? And you say, oh, yeah. Oh, we got you. You know how many people I seen get in trouble just by that? Just
I know.
That,
yeah.
They come and bring them a document. Hey, is this your signature? And it'd be a copy. Well, no. What do you mean it's not your signature? That's a copy of something. I don't know how to copy my signature and say it's my signature. I don't know what you're talking about. See, that's and when you don't know just those little things, most people are in trouble simply by the things they do and say.
basically putting themselves in the hot water. Yeah.
What they have to confirm everything. So most people are having these issues because they simply don't. What do they say? Shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. Shut up. Don't say. They're not your friends. They're not there to have a friendly conversation. They're looking for something to hurt you.
I always say you have the right to not incriminate yourself.
Right.
The right to self-preservation.
And that's why I go after this. Hey, the student loans. Hey, they got to do. These companies got to settle $6 billion worth of student loans. So, and they're going to do it in quarters. Every quarter they're going to do so much, and they can say, okay, well, I don't feel like spending the manpower to research this, so go write that one off. Because the government going to give them their money back anyway. They don't lose.
Right. Yeah.
They get to write that off.
Yeah.
That becomes
it's a win-win.
For them. Yeah. It's a win. See, that's why I think the whole student loan thing is a game. Oh, we only give them $15,000 and to make people not want to put forth the effort to get rid of it.
Well, it also keeps people from not looking further.
Right.
If I'm giving 15, that's good. But not knowing you can get the whole thing off.
Yeah,
of
all you gotta do is just ask questions. Show me the proof.
Hey, there you guys have it. Big Herc 916 getting down fresh out in Akiem. Do your homework. You tired of smelling like stanky butt, funky armpits? Wash your ass. Go to FreshOutSeries.com and pick you up a bar of soap.